To the speakers? Oh, that's, okay.
It's like a big crowd of
That's
people
all right.
laughing. I don't even know whether watching a video in there. Oh, it's the live. It's the TV channel live. That's what it is.
Of the City of Big Bear Lake Planning Commission. Today is November 5th, 2025. The time is 1:20 p.m. Thank you for bearing with us while we were getting some of the IT issues sorted out. We'll go ahead and get started. Lisa, can I have you do the flag salute, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks, Lisa. We're going to have staff introductions. We won't be with an assistant city attorney today, so any of your technical questions you can send over to Andrew, and he'll do his best attorney impersonation. We have Andrew Mellon, the Community Development Manager, and Jennifer Ellis, our planning technician. And I see other staff in the back that may be here to join us for items on the agenda. We're going to start public comment. Under this portion of the meeting, the public may direct comments to the Planning Commission on matters that are within the subject jurisdiction of the city, but not on the posted agenda. The state law does not allow the commission to take any action or conduct extended discussion on any item that's not on the agenda. There's a 3-minute maximum limit when addressing the commission.
Excuse me, Chair.
Yes.
Before you open the public hearing, can we need to do roll call?
I'm sorry. Thank you, Jennifer. We'll do roll call. Jennifer, if you'd like to call the roll.
Thank you. Vice Chair Beveridge,
Here.
Commissioner Mendoza,
Here.
Commissioner Bist,
Here.
Chair LeGrand,
Here.
Commissioner Eakin.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. So we'll start with public comments. I have Susan Ellis, if you'd like to come up to the podium. If you could state your name and address for the record.
Sure. My name is Susan Ellis, and I'm a full-time resident here in Big Bear Lake. And I wanted to talk to you briefly about the Cianerca Road project, since I live at 39420 Lark Road, which it directly impacts my backyard. I'm here today to bring your attention to potentially unlawful activity related to this project and to respectfully request that the commission withhold any approval until these issues are addressed. According to city staff, this project was approved by city council during a closed session, I believe back in May, under the California Government Code 65399 and 65860. The CIP is a fiscal planning document, not an authorization for project approval. The public's been excluded from any of this process. After repeated attempts to obtain information about the project, city employees confirmed that the city is relocating or attempting to relocate the waste transfer site from Highway 18 into our residential neighborhood, which is zoned public use, open space, not industrial. Despite no sign-off from the commission, the city has already begun grading, tree removal, and heavy equipment activity. No dust control, no care for the neighbors whatsoever. And reportedly, I was told by Mr. Tinker that they are using a temporary use permit, which under Big Bear Lake Municipal Code 17.03.290, a TUP requires a finding that the proposed use is compatible with the surrounding land uses. A waste site in a residential area clearly fails that test. Furthermore, the city has conducted no public hearings, environmental review, or traffic study. Issuing a TUP is a discretionary action under CEQA, the California Environment Quality Act, which requires environmental review at minimum and an initial study at best. The failure to conduct this review is a procedural violation of state law and prejudicial abuse of discretion. Before a conditional use permit can be even approved, the Big Bear Development Code section 17.03.170 requires 4 fatal findings. 1, that the project is consistent with the general plan and development code. 2, there's no substantial adverse effect on abutting properties. Adequate vehicular access. No deterrent to public health, safety, or welfare. This project fails to meet all 4. Finally, there is evidence of bad faith, including employee statements confirming instructions to withhold or misrepresentation information. Combined with the use of invalid permits, this reflects deliberate evasion of required public process. I respectfully urge the Commission to pause this project, require a full CEQA review, and ensure proper public notice and hearings before any further action is taken. This is not only required by law, but it's vital to protect the health, safety, and trust of our community. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, and good job staying to 3 minutes exactly. That was pretty impressive.
I've done this before. I was on Planning Commission myself.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for your service. Our next speaker is Teresa. I'm having trouble, maybe Carrera?
Probably because of my writing. Teresa Carrara,
Carrara,
and I'm
thank
a
you.
retired resident down the hill and up the hill over on Lark Trail.
Great.
We're splitting up the duties. I will try to stay under my 3 minutes. I'd like to focus on the safety issues that this project I'm concerned about. Other issues would be your property values decreasing and everything else. Imagine you wake up and you find out they're going to move a dump into your neighborhood and no notice was given. So the concerns I have is when I walk my dog, now that they have the bins out on the street, you can barely, you have to be very careful you don't get run over by the trash truck picking up the bins. I can't even imagine what multiple trash trucks trying to traverse a teeny tiny residential street will do, not only to the neighbors and the Sacred Heart Retreat, but the fun part will be watching the carnage as our 1 million plus tourists a year try to turn left onto Cienega as they leave town westward. They're going to get frustrated. And being on Lark Trail, I know what the snowplay people do to my property. They think my boulders are the trash can, whatever. My concern would be that they will get frustrated having to wait and wait and wait and wait to turn left as they travel west onto Cienega in order to dump their trash, because they're renters or they're residents that aren't here during the week when the bins are picked up and must be also put back in their resident. So it's, Sundays at checkout time, you can't cross Big Bear Boulevard walking as a pedestrian. I can't even imagine what it'll be like when you try to turn left. Instead of turning left, they may just dump their trash on our front lawns, kind of like the snowplay people do. They may decide to go on another circuitous route, but once that intersection has a collision, you're blocked. That's your major artery. So somebody must have, I can't imagine that you guys would approve a project like this without doing a traffic study to say, is it safe? Because people are going to dump their trash on their way out of town. If they can't turn left and dump it on Cienega, they're probably going to go to Boulder Bay Park and dump it on those trash cans, because they can't go across the street. And no one has still explained to me, why are we moving that Clean Bear Site 2 from across City Hall over to Cienega, across from the Sacred Heart Retreat, and into a teeny tiny residential neighborhood? Guess that's it for me. Wildlife and bear activity is also a safety hazard, so under the topic I'm trying to focus on. The bears have figured out the trash cans, the bins, the new bins. Those are fun. It's sport. They're out there the night before the trash is supposed to be picked up for those residents who do live up here full-time and can use those bins. The rest of us have said it's easier to go to Clean Bear Site and dispose of the trash quickly. The bears are going to love having an entire Clean Bear Site at their disposal. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank
And
you.
ladies. Sorry.
Jennifer, are there any more public comments? Do we have any more public speakers?
No, we do not.
Okay, I'm going to close public comments. Thank you both for your comments. Just for a point of clarification, the city budget doesn't come before this body. If it does, it's more for informational purposes. But at the end, when we have the directors and the commissioners conversation, we'll see if somebody wants to opine on this or has any thoughts, and maybe we can direct you in the right direction. Calling for approval of the consent items. Are there any objections? All in favor of moving the consent items? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Unanimously carries. Item 4.1 is a major special event 2025-029. Matt Smith of Elevated Events opened Big Bear for the 2025 Turkey Trot at the Moon Ridge Corridor. If we could have a staff presentation on this, please. Garrett?
Thank you, Chair, members of the Commission. The major special event application before you was submitted by Matt Smith, doing business as Open Air Big Bear. The Turkey Trot is a 3-mile holiday-themed running event that was first organized in the city of Big Bear Lake in 2013. The event was previously and annually held at Meadow Park, with the course going out and back through Eagle Point neighborhood. Last year, in 2024, the event attracted over 600 participants. Consequently, this year, the applicant is requesting to utilize the vacant property addressed as 42630 Moon Ridge Road, as well as the multi-use trail along the Moon Ridge Corridor and sections of sidewalks and various city streets, including Rathbun Drive, Moon Ridge Road, First Street, and Sonoma Drive. No road closures are requested, and runners will follow rules of the road. So a brief overview of the proposed 2025 Turkey Trot. Essentially, it's the same community-oriented event, just at a new location and a new route. So the anticipated number of spectators is approximately 250. The anticipated number of participants, approximately 750. Setup for the event at 42630 Moonridge Road will occur the day prior to the event, so that'll be on Wednesday, November 26th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Course setup, meaning course markers and course marshals, occurs the day of the event on November 27th at 7 a.m. And the run begins at 9:30 a.m. in the morning, and then you have the awards ceremony at 10:30, and the event cleanup is at 12. So the event's going to be headquartered at the vacant lot east of Dank Donuts, adjacent to First Street. There will be a starting and finishing arch, a stage for the awards ceremony, portable toilets, several booths for registration, timing, merchandise, food, and water. No alcohol is being served at the event. And the BBMR Rathbun parking area located just north across Rathbun Drive from the event will be used for participant, spectator, and support staff vehicle parking. This is an overview of the 3-mile route. So again, no street closures are proposed. Additionally, there will be course marshals acting as crossing guards at the following intersections, so Moonridge Road and Elm Street and Catalina Cougar Road, Moonridge Road at the Zoo Crosswalk, and then Moonridge Road and Rathbun Drive. So the Big Bear Lake Development Code states that the reviewing authority, in this case the Planning Commission, may deny, approve, or conditionally approve a request for a special event permit based on the following findings for approval. That the event is consistent with the General Plan and Development Code, that appropriate measures have been put in place to protect public health, safety, and general welfare. There's adequate circulation, access, and pedestrian safety, and that structures and equipment will be installed in compliance with applicable codes, and that there are provisions for site cleanup and restoration. These findings have been made and are provided in greater detail in the resolution attached to the staff report. Excuse me. The Big Bear Lake Development Code has specific public hearing notification requirements. These requirements were satisfied. No public correspondence has been received regarding the Turkey Trot special event application. Additionally, the event has been found to be categorically exempt from CEQA under Section 15304, Class 4, which includes minor temporary use of land having negligible or no permanent effects on the environment. So according to the Big Bear Lake Development Code, requests to use city-owned property, which includes streets, sidewalks, bike paths, and multi-use trails, must be authorized by the Planning Commission, provided that the event meets all the following criteria. The event is free to spectators, the event is family-oriented, visitor-oriented, or both, and the event does not involve the sale of used or mass-produced goods, as are typically associated with swap meets or auctions. Since each of these criteria can be met, it is recommended that the Planning Commission authorize the use of city streets, multi-use trails, and sidewalks for the Turkey Trot. This can be accomplished by holding this public hearing, which we're doing, and then adopting the attached resolution, finding the project exempt from CEQA, and approving major special event application 2025-029 for the Turkey Trot holiday-themed running event on November 27th, 2025. Should the Planning Commission wish to approve the major special event application, the following motion is recommended. This concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions, and the applicant, Matt Smith, is here in attendance and is available for questions as well. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Are there any questions for staff at this time? Ernie?
Yes, so with an estimated 750 people, there's always concern for emergency. With an estimated 700 people, there's always concern for emergency services, whether it's medical or security. What is the San Bernardino Sheriff's or the Highway Patrol or the Fire Department's involvement with this, as you know?
Yeah, and maybe the applicant would be better qualified to speak to that, since, yeah, Matt?
When he opens the public hearing, Matt can come up and address that question.
Okay,
Great.
all right. Yeah, and then I'll have another question actually for the city is, what's the city's position on requiring emergency services? And is there a threshold where we would mandate, emergency services based on the amount of people?
Yeah, again, this event has been occurring since 2013, so long-standing event in the city. Nothing that I am aware of has happened to cause us to be concerned about this event. And there is no, I don't believe there is like a threshold that we would require like emergency service to be present. I think it's the nature, the type of the event itself. But yeah, if Matt may have more to say about that as well.
Do you want to talk about the DRC process and who's vetted through that? Fire department, sheriff?
Yeah, so prior to taking in the application, we had a development review committee meeting where all staff was present, all city departments were present. We went over the event, the logistics of it. Nothing came up that was of concern to city departments, so nothing was raised. Fire department didn't have any comments. So minimal concern for this event, since it is just utilizing sidewalks and paved trails.
Thanks, Ernie. Those are important questions. Thank you for raising them. I'm going to go ahead and open up the public hearing for this case. Is there anyone who'd like to speak on this? If we can have the applicant come up, please. Matt Smith, correct?
Yes, Matt Smith, thank you. To answer a question, we notify first through the DRC, the sheriff, and the fire department, and then we reach out to both prior to the event to acknowledge, just to remind them that it's happening. In previous years, Sergeant Edelman has been at the event, just kind of, as viewing. We also have ham radio communications, and we have a first aid tent from Bear Valley Community Hospital on site each year. Yep, absolutely.
Any other questions for the applicant? Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. I think this is a great event for Big Bear. If we have any discussions, let us know. But I know we have a lot of people that enjoy this event and have participated in the past, and I think the duration of it for us that are getting a little older and don't jog quite as much as we should. I like the 3 mile. Doesn't make me feel so bad not doing the half marathon. So hats off to you. Thank you for doing this, and I think it's a great event for the city. Anyone else have any comments? Jim?
Yes. Well, I plan to attend the event. Unfortunately, I'm not one to actually go out and trot around in my turkey suit, but I plan on being there. Absolutely, this is the kind of event the city should be supporting, and I'm glad you're putting this on again. The new location should be great. I think having the support with Dank Donuts there is really good, great for the community. Thank you for doing that. I also want to say thanks to city staff for a really good presentation. Thank you for doing that. Thank you.
Thank you. Michael?
I would just say that I've participated a couple of times in the past, and this is the kind of event that makes it nice to live in Big Bear Lake, because it's a community, mostly locals, and you've got everybody from people that are competitive and want to be the first back to people, it's basically just a giant walking conversation. And it's relaxing, it's fun, and you can be as straight as you want to be or as goofy as you want to be. It's just a lot of fun. And you get to work off some of that turkey.
Thank you, Michael. Andrew, I see your mic on. Nothing?
Want to close the public hearing if there's no more comments for the applicant?
Great.
Please?
Yes. We'll close the public hearing. I think we already did, but we'll close it again. No, it's fine. Usually Jennifer will catch me, but, I got to keep you on your toes, Andrew. Okay, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve. I move to adopt the resolution, or wait, do we have it?
Yes, it's on the screen.
I'll make the motion and then somebody will second. Is that
Correct, sure.
a long time since?
It has. We're rusty, aren't we, Michael?
I move to adopt resolution number 2C2025-XX, approving major special event application. I need to put this on. I move to adopt resolution number PC 2025-XX, approving major special event application 2025-029 for the Turkey Trot and finding the request categorically exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act, subject to certain findings and conditions.
Okay, moved by Beveridge, seconded by Biss. Jennifer, if you could do a roll call or take the vote call.
Yes, thank you. Commissioner Eakin?
Aye.
Commissioner Bist?
Aye.
Commissioner Mendoza?
Aye.
Vice Chair Beveridge?
Aye.
Chair LeGrand?
Aye.
Thank you. This motion was passed by a vote of 5 in favor and 0 against, making it resolution number 2025-12. It will take effect in 10 days unless an appeal is filed with the Planning Division.
Great, thank you. Does the commissioners have any discussion, action items related to the agenda before we get into commissioner reports? No, hearing none, we'll move on to.
I'm sorry, what were you asking?
If there's any discussion or action items related to the agenda?
To our agenda today?
Yeah.
No.
And then this is the next part where it's a little more open. And then commissioner reports. Any reports by the commissioners or clarifications? Lisa?
Thank you. Concerning the public comments, which I know we can't discuss, but I did want to make a request. My understanding from the email that I was forwarded, the email from Kelly Tinker, he referenced that there was a TUP done, and it would be, the construction and the site would be temporary, and then it would be coming to the Planning Commission for environmental review. I would like to request the chair if I could get a copy of the TUP. I believe there's a meeting with the neighborhood tomorrow afternoon, so if I could get that copy before that meeting, that would be helpful. Thank you.
I have a similar question. Has this temporary CUP been reviewed by prior planning commission? Is that what they're working on? How did that?
I don't have any further comment at this time. It is not a CUP, it's a temporary use permit, and we can get you a copy of that letter prior to the meeting.
Yeah, normally on items like this, Jim.
Yeah, we should send that to all of us. I would
Sure.
request.
And normally on items like this, we try to give staff a chance to report back since it's on the agenda.
Yeah.
And there's so many departments and city staff.
Would it be something that, would we need to put this on the agenda for our next meeting for discussion?
No, we'll leave that up to staff and they can.
I'll have Mr. Tinker reach out to you. He's spearheading this, and he will get that information to you.
Okay, all
Right.
right. I know there's a lot of concern in that community.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, and again, I think it's important that people come down and air those concerns. It's a good audience for it, but really, I think the department heads that are in charge of those divisions are going to be able to communicate that. And then, as always, I encourage people to reach out to their local council members who are very responsive and have their ears to the ground on items like this. So that's always also a good avenue to pursue. But in terms of our jurisdiction, we've got to be a little careful that we don't expand things outside of them. And if they are coming to us, we don't want to prejudice our vote by getting unique information. But I think what was been asked for today doesn't cross that line. It's a good request, so I do support that. Anyone else?
I do have another commissioner comment.
Yeah, please.
So the Community Healthcare District, Bear Valley Community Healthcare District Foundation is having their annual Tree of Lights fundraiser. This is a very nice event for the community as well as for raising money for the hospital. The foundation supplements the budget of the hospital itself. This particular event is a way that if you have a loved one who has passed away in the past year and you would like to have their name read in their honor with a donation, this is the time to do that. You go on the website, make a donation, and there will be an outdoor ceremony in front of the hospital this Saturday, November 8th at 5 p.m.
Nice.
So hopefully you can support the hospital and recognize one of your loved ones.
Thank you, Jim. We're going to move on to director's announcements. Andrew, anything from you?
Yeah, so again, regarding the TUP, I don't have any further comments other than please communicate with Kelly Tinker, but I will pass along our email or your guys' email it, and he can get you a copy of that permit prior to the meeting tomorrow. Moving right along, the city council, next week, they're looking to approve a professional services agreement with a firm to award the general plan contract. So that's a very exciting kind of time for the city of Big Bear Lake in general, as well as the planning department and the planning commission, because there will be a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of work back and forth between many public meetings and open dialogue communication components to where we have a chance to kind of plan the future for the next 20 to 30 years for the city of Big Bear Lake. And then last but not least, I know we haven't had a meeting in a month and a half, give or take, but we will have the November 19th meeting, which is in 2 weeks, and we have a couple items on that agenda as well. So I'll see you again in 2 weeks. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. The time is 1:47. The meeting's adjourned.